Genshin Impact. I played Genshin Impact for a really long time, if it wasn't very obvious. But within that time of me playing Genshin Impact, I will admit in a few things. The first thing is yes, I have a lot of characters. And yes, some people are gonna say a few things about why are certain characters a certain level and why are others a certain level. So, I wanted to make this video addressing about my mistakes, more so in how I spend resources in the game, and also what potential things I want to come from learning these things. Now, to be frank, a lot of these mistakes were not reasoned by any means. For example, Ayaka and Sayu were definitely characters that I was planning to continue building on. But around that time, due to my impatience, there's just not a lot of resources to go around. It should be obvious if you've been playing Genshin Impact, and because of this, it makes it even harder to actually manage and spend resources on characters like Ayaka and Sayu, right? Because if I want to level these characters up, right, not just both in level and talents, but also artifacts. Since artifacts are, by all means, the if not one of the most important attributes of this game. And I didn't even mention about weapons, but there definitely is a thing that needs to be considered as well. But moving on along, this is what I want to do. These are the things that I'm gonna do from now on moving forward. And I feel that the point of the video, more than anything, is for anyone that watches this to kind of take in from my mistakes and see what you can do and learn from what I did, right? That made no sense, but you get what you get what I'm trying to say. You get what I'm trying to say. Basically put, you get what I'm trying to say. You look at my mistakes, be like, I could have done that better, and then you do it better. That's the whole point of learning from mistakes, even if they're not your own, which is the reason why I'm making this video. So, let's go on into the stuff that I want to do. So my main party of 4 that I'm currently using, and this got a little bit switched up. Originally, before the release of Ball, I was using Zhongli, MC, Mona, and Jean. And yes, I nickname my character Brian, because that is my name. But you will refer to me as Nova. But that was my original party. It was Jean, Mona, Aether, and then of course Big Dongzhong. Regardless, eventually Ball came out, and I got Ball. Luckily, relatively early within the polls. Upon grabbing her, the immediate thing that I wanted to do was level her up to the character cap, specifically level 80. Why 80? It's simple. One of the big things that I learned again from playing this game for a long time is that you don't really need a lot of your characters to be level 90. You really just don't. Leveling up characters to level 91 is a shit ton of resources, and most importantly, if you've been playing this game for as long as I have, you probably already figured that out. And if you haven't and you're trying to get every character to level 90, let me just tell you, the only characters, in my opinion, that I think you should consider going to level 90 are main DPS characters and sub DPS characters. Now, I don't want to be the meta person, but let's be honest. Whether you're playing with your favorite characters or not, having at least 2 in your party that are level 90 are going to help you. And for anyone that's a casual, personally, if you've gone this far, that's what I would recommend. Only take 2 level 90 characters, everything else could just be 80. You can ascend them if you want to get that extra boost in stats, because it definitely would help you to a degree, so take that into consideration. But I'm going to take it from a little bit of a meta sense, but also in the... Also, Jesus, I said also 3 times now. But I really want to kind of emphasize the characters that I should be building. The big ones, of course, being Zhang. He's my main character. He's the character that I play with all the time. Shut up, Zhang. You don't need to speak. Do not interrupt me. But yes, Shang is the character that I'm going to be playing with. Because of Zhang Li being the main character that I want to use him, I'm using as a main DPS. I don't have his build fully all the way there to the extent that I want to be a full DPS, but it is there. And I might tweak it eventually at some point, you know, to mess around and see what I think is more fun. Regardless, he's going to be a character that I do want to level up to level 90, and is also a character that I do want to max out the talents as much as possible, because he's the character that's going to be dealing most of the damage, and is going to be the character that's going to be in the field pretty much all the time. The other character that I want to potentially raise to level 90 is Ball. Now, of course, Ball is a recent addition, but it is a thing that I want to do. But I'll talk a little bit about Ball later. The main thing is Zhang is my main Geo DPS, and that's what you should take into account. I want to have a main DPS for every element, be that Geo, Hydro, Electro, etc. You get what I'm getting at. And after playing the game, after messing around with some characters, I kind of figured out which ones I want as a main DPS. Now, again, I want to re-emphasize and the fact that, look, I'm not looking this at a meta's perspective, so we're not looking at through that. I just want to look at it as, do I like the character's playstyle? Do I like the character's look? Do I enjoy their pretty much their gameplay, really, which is their playstyle? And reality is, that's the character that I'm usually going to be main DPS. Could I make a character like the main character as my main DPS, even the Electro form? Yeah, I definitely fucking can. I just have to build them correctly. You could do that with any character. But these are the characters that I want to take in. Geo, I already established. Zhang Li, all the way. For Hydro, this one's iffy, but if you guys can probably notice, I don't have a lot of Hydro characters. I only have Mona, I have Barbara, and I have your boy Xingqiu. And yes, he is level 20, but I can explain. And I'll explain in a different video, not this one. Regardless, Mona is going to be my main DPS. If I had Child, that would probably be a very different story, and I would have probably made him my main DPS and her my sub DPS. Regardless, she's gonna be my main damage dealer through pretty much the entire route for any builds that I want to use Mona as the character that I want to have out at all times. For Electro, this one was iffy. When I was playing the game originally, I fell in love with Beidou because her playstyle is really fun. But, as you guys can see, I stopped leveling up Beidou because I started leveling up Raiden Shogun, or Ball, or, you know, depending on where you are in the story, A. Point being, a lot of the characters, especially now, I've suddenly had my opinion shifted. I have a Keqing that I randomly got from Wishes that I've been wanting for so long, but ever since the introduction of Ball, I don't even know if I want to spend resources on Keqing. Will I eventually? Yes, that is my ultimate goal, is to have all the characters be level 80 to level 90 depending on what I want them to be. But, to go back to the Electro main DPS character that I would want, while I do want Beidou, please do not, even though I do want Beidou to be my main Electro DPS, and I probably still will, I could also mess around with Ball, and I think she's going to be really fun to play as a main DPS because she has the ability to do so. And also, I just fucking love this character. I think she's cute as fuck, and that little beauty mark underneath her eye. Nice. Moving on. In terms of my main Anemo DPS, if I had Kazuha, I would probably pick Kazuha. But, to be fair, I did pull for Shao, And I pulled for Xiao because I did want him to be my main Anemo DPS. I know I have Jean, but there's other reasons why Jean isn't my main DPS. Now Xiao can actually deal pretty good damage. The one thing I don't like about Xiao is that Xiao is pretty much like Zhongli, in the sense that he cannot, well, kind of have any form of reactions really, because Zhang, he's Geo, and Geo just doesn't have reactions really besides Crystallize, and that's like the shittiest one. And Anemo, which is one of the coolest if not the best form of reactions you could have in a game, isn't even that good with Xiao, because the only time where he actually activates Swirl is when he does his wind cycle stuff, and you only get 2 spurts and then it runs out, and then you have to wait for them to recharge. But he still deals a fuck ton of damage. And that's the reason why I want Xiao to be my main Anemo character. Simply just because he's Anemo. That's it. Even if he doesn't activate Swirl, that's the only reason why I have him. Now Cryo, this one's debatable. This is very debatable. A lot of people will probably see Ganyu, and if you're any person that has seen any other content creators, well, content, they're going to tell you a few things. Specifically, is the fact that, don't moan, the fact is, Ganyu is one of the most OP characters in this game. Don't know why they made her so freaking OP, but they did. She can literally obliterate anything with her charge shot, which is insane. But even so, taking that out, I still don't want her to be the main DPS, because even though she has the ability to do that, obliterating people with one shot, that's not what I want for my team. I want to play around with Chongyun because was one of the first 4 stars besides Noelle that I fell in love with. Not to mention that the Claymores are really fucking dope. I don't like a lot of their charge attacks besides Beto's, and I think Diluc has a similar one. But otherwise, Chongyun all the way. If I had Eula, it would have been Eula all the way. But you get my shift. You get it. Chongyun's gonna be my main cryo DPS. He deals a decent amount of damage. He can easily hit 3k. And while for some people that may not be like a lot, the 3k just comes from his elemental skill. It doesn't even come from anything else like his big burst or anything. It's his skill. So say what you may, I think that's pretty pog. I don't have to do a one-shot move. That just makes the game fucking boring as hell. So the fact that I can... You like that, Pops? Get down. The fact that he can do something like that is impressive for me. And not only if I actually worked on, one, his artifacts, because I'm pretty sure his artifacts aren't even that great yet, but if I worked on him further in terms of artifacts, talents, and getting him to level 90, he's probably going to be pretty fucking pog in my opinion. Pyro. For Pyro, it's easy. It is Hu Tao. Now, I had Klee first. She was the first one, and I pulled her because she was adorable. And she's literally a tiny child that can just decimate an area. But the thing about Klee is that Klee is very squishy, in the sense that she can easily be knocked out by enemies. I don't know why, but even if her defense is like 900, which like hers is like 600, which is not a lot to be fair, but with that, if she gets bonked by any enemy, she takes so much damage. So much. And also, her playstyle is kind of a bit wonky in the sense that she throws a lot of bombs. She's like Catalyst users. Catalyst users are pretty wonky in general, even Mona, but Klee even more so. So that's the only reason why I didn't put her as a main DPS character. But Hu Tao, on the other hand, let's go. Now, some people might ask, why not Diluc? Reason very well. Guys, he's level 40. It should be, the reason for that is very explainable. Explainable? What the fuck? Explainable here. He's level 40. he's gonna take so long, one, just to get to level 40. It's gonna literally take weeks of grinding, not only for the XP, but also weeks to get the resources needed for him to ascend, and then another more weeks to actually level up his talents. You catch my drift, chat. You catch it. Did I say chat? You catch my drift, people. It's gonna take a while. Hu Tao, on the other hand, she's already a level 80. She's already a level 80. Not only that, I can easily get her stuff within a few weeks, like I mentioned, but her talents, I have leveled them up all the way. I'm still trying to figure out her build in terms of what I really want to put resources in. Regardless, I've already been doing that. I just have to grind for the artifacts, the correct ones, get her to level 90, get her weapon to level 90, and then of course, you know, amongst other stuff, but the point is pretty self-explanatory. And in terms of characters, I have the roster. I have my main Geo, my main Hydro, all of the mains of everything are done. Sorry, someone had to come in. But like I said, we're done. We have the things that are required. But what about the other characters? What am I going to do with all of them? I've already explained myself. And, oh Jesus, oh God. I already explained myself. And I already said it. I do plan on eventually leveling up a lot of the characters. Now, it should be quite obvious that just having the quote-unquote main character, the character that I have to focus on, build something around, which is one of the fun parts about Genshin, when you have a character that you declare as your main DPS, right? Building around them is the funnest part. So clearly for all these characters, I'm going to have to build something for them. And even though it's very easily interchangeable, one of the other reasons why I wanted to do this was for a very obvious reason. That obvious reason being, of course, none other than Spiral Abyss. You kind of need that. But I'm going to leave that again for another video. But to end it off, to conclude this video, I want to look particularly at a few other things, and that is what I want to do with a lot of the other characters in the roster. Healers are a thing that exists in this game, in the form of Jean, in the form of Diona, Barbara, you know, Sayu, you name it, and amongst other healers that I still haven't gotten. GG. You have a big roster of different characters that have other niches and do something for the team. Bennett is technically the pyro character that heals, you know, your team. He's level 1, don't question it. And then I also have Noelle. She's level 20. Don't question that even more. And the roster goes on. There's a lot of characters that I have that are certain levels that I just haven't gotten a chance to level up. Is there probably other much more heavier casuals that are playing this game and are further than me? Yes. Are there people that are going to be behind me? Yes. Because at the end of the day, even though I'm trying to min-max certain aspects of this game, again, I'm playing this game for fun. And one of the things that I love about this game is building teams around certain characters. Whether that be theme teams, whether that be, I don't know, fucking teams that I mentioned beforehand. I don't know. You get the gist. I'm playing this game for fun. So eventually I will build a lot of other characters in due time. It's just I have to really see and think about what characters should I prioritize and what characters shouldn't. And also, let's be honest, who doesn't want to get the free primos from Spiral Abyss? Let's be honest. That's one of the biggest reasons why I also want to do this. Well, regardless, I do plan on building all the other characters, even characters that are level 70, all the other characters that are level 80. As to where I'm gonna level them up, that's a whole different story. Eventually though, do I think that there's gonna be a point in time where I'm gonna level up some characters to level 90 after more time passes? Yes, most definitely. But that shit ain't gonna happen for another, well, for a long time. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. See you guys in the next video.